If you've watched the show Shark Tank, the dun 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 dun, and everyone's walking out and they're just like, "Hey sharks, let me tell you about this thing that I have." Hello and welcome to another episode of the Wisdom and the Tangents podcast. I am your host John Mansfield. Welcome to 2025. I know we're like a couple three weeks into the new year now, but this is my first solo show of the year. This is the first one that's not like a best ofs, so I feel like this is like the beginning of 2025 for this podcast. So welcome. I hope the year's treating you well. I'm very hopeful, very excited for this year in business and education and community and all the things that we love around here. If you're new, welcome. If you're old, if you're old, you're also welcome here. We love all ages. But yeah, today I'm bringing a fairly short episode. Fairly, it's short, but I think it's very powerful. It's a mindset that I wish that I had earlier, which are most of the mindsets that I talk about. And it's all about how we set our goals. This time of year, it's January, it's New Year. We have new goals. We have goals for the year. We have goals, personal goals. We have business goals. We have New Year's resolutions, which, by the way, my New Year's resolution, 4K. Finally upgraded, no longer 1080p. That is a photography joke, or rather a screen size joke. I don't know what kind of joke that is. Not a good one, apparently, because I heard no laughing from you. But yeah, New Year's resolutions, we have goals and all sorts of things going on right now. And a lot of times we set these goals and it's just like, oh, this would be fun, or this would be great, or it would be really nice to hit 100K this year, or my goal is to have half of the months be like 10K months, or I want to book a destination wedding every quarter, or something like that. But a lot of times when we come up with these goals, it is just that. It is just kind of like thinking off the top of your head, what would be cool? What would be great? What is like a little bit of a stretch from what I'm used to that I can do? And we don't really think about the back end of it. And sometimes hitting these goals actually ends up hurting your business, which sounds counterintuitive, I know, but let me explain. Really, kind of breaking this down, if you don't have good systems and workflows in place as a foundation, if you don't have good systems as a foundation in your business, if you keep growing and scaling and bringing in more work, it is just going to lead you to burnout. If you've watched the show Shark Tank, the dun 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 dun, and everyone's walking out and they're just like, "Hey sharks, let me tell you about this thing that I have." All the sharks are always asking and talking about scaling. Like that's one of the reasons that the people are there, is to get capital and investments from the sharks to help with scaling and growing their business. And if they don't have a good foundation, like I've heard like Mark Cuban and the other sharks often say, like, I don't see how you can scale this. Like it's a great business what you have, but I don't see how you can scale it and make it more with what you're doing or what you're offering or how you want to grow this. And a lot of times we don't think about scaling, or we don't think about the foundation in our business when we want to scale. So like think about like kids blocks, like those little cubes, little blocks. I probably have some around the house. I have kids, but like think about like building a tower with those little like ABC blocks, and you're just building a tower. You got like 4 blocks on the base as your foundation, and then you're growing. You put another 4 blocks on top of that, and like the tower's getting taller, more blocks, 4 more blocks, 4 more blocks, and like after a while, it kind of gets like that swaying Jenga tower situation because the foundation is not wide enough, not strong enough to keep everything solid once you get up to like 14 stories of these blocks, and everything is just like you're hoping that the AC doesn't kick on because a little breeze is just going to knock everything over. And sometimes that's where we get where we have these grand goals in mind. It's like, I want to hit six figures this year. But last year you were right about 60K and you were super busy and your weekends were all full and you were just working, didn't have a lot of time. And then you want to add more on top of that. If you don't change anything, you're just going to be adding more work. If you don't change things whenever you're scaling, it is just you doing more. And, I don't know what percentage that is, like 40-ish%. No, like 80. No, I don't know. I really, math is not working for me today. But like, it's definitely not doubling, but it is almost doubling, going from 60K to 100K. So think about like, this is how much I'm working right now. If I want to get to 100K, I'm going to have to work that much more to get there. And then if I want to sustain that, I'm going to have to work that much more every single year, unless you change things like your pricing, or you start delegating things like your editing, or bringing in a virtual assistant to help with managing clients and the day-to-day tasks. So if you're trying to do it on your own and you're not really changing anything about your foundation, and your foundation is just kind of like, I don't know, I'm doing everything on my own, and I have to send all of these emails individually, and I'm scheduling all of this and going back and forth with the clients on like, oh, Tuesday didn't work for you. How about Thursday at 4 o'clock? Oh, okay. And no, 5 o'clock works. And like, you're just going back and forth and back and forth, instead of using tools to help you save time and just make it a smoother process, and also build out that foundation. Because if you build out that foundation, instead of looking like a Jenga tower, I'm just knocking this microphone all over because I'm talking with my hands today. Uh, Instead of building a Jenga tower, you're building like a pyramid. So like, maybe you started off with, uh, 4 squares or 4 cubes, and then the next one you're building up. So then underneath that you expand to 3 by 3, and then you have 2 by 2 on top, and then 4 by 4 on the bottom. And it's like you're building up the pyramid, and it's getting taller and stronger the whole way. So you can get to 14 levels and have a ton of blocks and bringing in a lot of income and doing a ton of work, but your foundation is stronger and you have more help and more delegation and more automations and more systems. So with this year, maybe you've already set some goals, maybe you're already working toward them. If you have not already, take a moment, assess those goals, assess what you're wanting to accomplish this year, and see, is this something that is feasible for me to do, that's not going to lead me to burnout, that's not going to lead me to complete exhaustion, and something that you'll be able to have that solid foundation and those systems to build upon. And if you don't, I have some episodes for you to check out. If you're just like, I don't know what systems I have, I am doing all of this on my own, John. I've got 3 different episodes for you to check out this week that I think will be really helpful. You should listen to episode 207 with Taryn Rochelle. We talk about system mistakes you are probably making, and these are a lot of the common mistakes that she sees in people's systems and workflows. Really great episode. Really need to have Taryn back on the show this year. Melissa Rich, this is a more recent one, 219. We talked about the misconceptions about systems and workflows. So a lot of things that maybe you have in mind, some mindsets and some things that are holding you back from setting up those systems, those workflows. We dive into all those and just like break all those misconceptions. And then lastly, Alora Rochelle, episode 130. This is a while ago, but we talk about how to be the CEO of your business. And a lot of that we do talk about how to work on your business and set up those systems to really make that foundation so that your business is working and you are not the like grunt work in your business all the time, but you're able to have the CEO mindset of your business. So definitely check out those. I will have all three of those linked in the show notes for you. I hope you reach your goals this year. I would love to hear your goals too. I will be posting on Instagram this week about just asking about your goals and cheering you on along the way. There's something that I'm doing every Wednesday is called Wednesday, WINS, like wins, where we talk about our wins. And it's been really fun to hear your wins and get to celebrate with you. It is so important to celebrate like the tiny wins as we go, instead of just like, oh, hey, I hit this goal, now on to the next one, which I do a ton. And I am trying to slow down and actually be in the moment, actually celebrate, and then move on toward the next goal. So have a great week. And be sure to subscribe to the show if you are not already subscribed. Leave a review and say hey on Instagram. I would love to see you over there. Bye, y'all. And end.